y'all, Gwen here, just showing you how to make some quick alts just for line filling. So for especially our T3s who may need to fill in their T4s to make sure that our lines are all full, we oftentimes can utilize these temporary alts. So they're keeps that we're going to create that we're not going to ever access again, but they at least fill the space for now in our lines. So the key to making these alts really starts with our settings, and then from there you'll notice there is the use friend code and then the invite friends options available. So we're going to first go ahead and get to that, use the invite friends option, and you're going to see that here we have a friend code and we can copy it. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that code right now, return to the previous screen, and then where it says use friend code, I'm going to go ahead and open that up right now, and I'm going to go ahead and enter that in. Now before I do this, I want to go ahead and make sure that I acknowledge one other important thing. Before we start doing this, it's super important to make sure that under account, you have your account bound in some way so that you can get back into it again. If you have not yet bound your account, do not make these alts or you will lose all of the progress that you have currently made. So, most important, bind your account. Even if you're not making alts, bind your account, because you never know what could happen. You lose your phone, you have to get a new one, something happens. If your account is not bound, you will not be able to recover the data again. So always bind your account. So make sure that's done. Then we can go ahead and use that friend code that I had just copied, and I can join. And it's going to tell me, hey, if you did not bind your account, it's going to be a big deal. So we strongly suggest binding your in-game profile. Any unbound profiles will be unrecoverable. And then we can click on OK. And then it's going to go ahead and go back through the opening as far as trying to load the game again for you. And I'm going to go ahead and play. And now a new account has been created in my kingdom. The same kingdom that I was just in where I got that friend code from. So now I have a brand new keep here. It hasn't, it's got obviously no power here or anything. There's no reason to build it or even to collect anything necessarily. What I will oftentimes do is maybe give it a name or change the flag just so that I can recognize it and know that it's my alt. So in this case, I might just go ahead and change the flag to what my flag currently is, just so that I know that this belongs to me. So what is my current flag? I am using a little Welsh dragon in this gold color. My pattern was the little lines. And then I was doing this mauve color with a fun little foresty green. And then I can save that. So now this matches my current flag for the keep that is my main keep, right? And now I can go ahead and then find where I am trying to apply that. So some ways to do that occasionally is I might have had my main keep type in the chat here in the kingdom chat so I can find it. Or if my alliance is on the map in some way, I can come in here to this map, I can click on this leaderboard, and I can find my alliance's name, and then I could go through looking at the members of that alliance to figure out where do I want to put this, right? So if there's some empty spaces, right, here's Zuko has an empty space and needs a banner. So I can go ahead and, oops, I clicked on the wrong one. Click on the Zuko there. There she is, and I can go ahead and apply. So that then she can go ahead and collect this banner. The other thing that is super important here when you're doing this, before you move on to your next one, is to scroll on down back in your settings, and where it says auto accept bannerman on and off, make sure you toggle that to be off. Super important, okay? Because if something happens, if you are in a drop line and these banners then that are T4s ultimately then become T2s or T3s in some manner because of a drop, then others can slip in there while those banners are open. And remember, you cannot access these again once we move on to creating the next one, because we're not going to bind them in any way. So I always make sure that those bannerman, auto accept bannerman is off. As a matter of fact, this is a team rule. Everybody needs to have this turned off regardless, because it's just one of those places or one of those things that is a big crucial vulnerability for our alliance, and we want to keep our doors locked so that we can keep ourselves secure. So we're going to go ahead and come back up. We're ready to make our next alt at this point. So I can now go back to invite friends again. It's going to generate a new code. I can copy that code, use friend code. I can paste that code here. And now you notice the difference here. It's telling me this is unbound. If I do this, I will never retrieve this account again. And that's okay in this case, because we know that this isn't our main account. This was the alt that I had just created to fill in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And it's going to go through, starting the game again. I'm going to play. And then here I am back in that same kingdom again with a new account. I'm going to go ahead and change that flag just so it's something that I know, or you could change the name. Either way, sometimes I've done that where I've done minion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way up to, I don't know, I think I'm at 500 something now. But you could just change the name so it's something that you and your team is going to recognize as something that is approved or known. Additionally, when you are sending these alts to the teammate, if you're making them for somebody else, make sure you communicate that in the Shuffles channel. Tag that person, let them know that you have sent them some alts. And I think I messed up because I think I just accidentally saved my banner before I finished everything. Oh, I have one more. Okay, so I changed my banner. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have this locked. And then I'm going to go back and figure out where I'm going to apply this alt, right? So back to maybe locating the team that I'm trying to apply it to, select those members, and figure out where I want it to go. So here's another one here that seems to have some empty spots. It looks like my very own main could probably use some support there. So I'll go ahead and go there and apply that and say okay. So now the application is sent. So in this case, I'm sending it to my own, which is great. I mean, ideally, this is what we want. We want T3s making their own T4 alts. It just makes it easier rather than asking somebody to try to make them all for everyone else. So if you can do this for yourself, please, please do help out the team. So since I am this person and I just sent myself an alt to apply, I'm going to go ahead and return to my account. I'm going to go ahead and switch account to that one. Sometimes Google is a little bit wonky. Here we go. And we're going to go with, oops, I think it's this one. And continue. Okay, there we go. So I'm ready to log in. Give the game a moment to load. All right, perfect. So now, because I just sent myself that alt, I can go ahead and come on over here. I can view under Bannerman requests, received offers. There's that Bannerman that I had just sent myself. And I know what this one is because remember, I made it something I could identify and recognize and know. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that alt right now to go ahead and join me. So now I've got my banners filled. Okay. So that is essentially how you can make just quick banner filling alts. There's a lot more you can do with these alts if you really wanted to keep them, put them on your BlueStacks, build them up, use them for farming and resources and all of that. That's not really the intention of what I was doing right now. This is super quick. Obviously, it took maybe 2 minutes or less to make that. I can go back in here. I can use another friend code or invite friends, use another friend code, and just keep on going until my banners are filled. So that is, in a nutshell, how to make banner filling alts for those of you that need to be able to fill those banners so that we can have our roster filled before the opening of the Paramount seats this weekend. Thank you.